Hi students, I am Prakash, Academic Advisor Masterminds. Today, that is on 7th November 2020, ICAI has made a very important announcement with respect to in continuation of opt-out facility. So they are going to conduct second cycle of November 2020 examinations approximately in the mid of January or in the beginning of February. So now let us see what this announcement says. The ICAI's important announcement dated 23rd October has prescribed for the opt-out scheme for November 2020 examination, which was to become operative as under. So in this notification, CA Institute has clearly stated the procedure with respect to opt-out. As we already know, in the earlier notification, the opt-out procedure was not clear. Now enough clarity has been given with respect to opt-out scheme. In the extant form, the opt-out scheme was to be available to the students satisfying any of the following conditions. So, to whom opt-out scheme is available? Opt-out scheme will apply to the following categories of students. Category A, the students who are currently COVID-19 positive are having symptoms of COVID-19 at any time up to the conclusion of examinations. So, students who are already struggling or suffering with COVID-19 positive symptoms are having symptoms of COVID-19 at any time up to the conclusion of examinations. That means student may get attacked with COVID-19 either before the commencement of examinations or during the conduct of examinations. Point B, whose family members with whom the students are staying are COVID-19 positive or become COVID-19 positive at any time up to the conclusion of examinations. That means the family members with whom the student is staying, any of those family members have got attacked with COVID-19 or may get attacked with COVID-19 during the conduct of the examinations. If the area C bit, so condition C, if the area in which the student's residence is located is declared as containment zone by the central government or state government or local authorities at any time up to the conclusion of examinations. That means either before the commencement of exams or during the conduct of the examinations, the locality in which the student is staying is being declared by any competent authority as containment zone. In such a case, the student will not be able to come outside and write his examination. That is why even in that case, student can opt out. Sir, is it required to satisfy all the three conditions? No, it's not required. Even if a student satisfies any of the above three conditions, the student can opt out. Considering the request of large number of students and keeping in view their general well-being and safety, it has been decided that students who have already submitted online exam application form for November 2020 examination cycle, it's a very important point. This is going to apply to only those students who have already applied for exam application for November 2020 examination cycle. For example, a student has not even applied for November 2020 exam. In such a case, this facility is not going to apply such students. So this facility will apply to only those students who have already applied for November 2020 examination cycle and are satisfying any of the conditions as mentioned in A to C above, any of the conditions. That means it is not required to satisfy all the three conditions. Even if a student satisfies any one condition, it's okay. Will be allowed to opt out and carry forward their candidature to another examination cycle, that is November 2020 examination cycle 2, to be conducted in the second half of January or first half of February. That means, so after opting out from this particular examination, another chance has been given to the students of November 2020. So in the same attempt, that is November 2020 attempt itself, second cycle of examinations will be conducted in the second half of January or first half of February. In this case, so and another important point to be observed is to appear for the second cycle of November 2020 examinations, CA Institute is not going to invite any fresh applications to the students from the students. So this is going to apply to only those students who have already applied for November 2020 attempt and going to opt out from the November 2020 first examination cycle. In this case, the examination fees and exemption, if any, of the particular student will automatically be shifted and carried forward to the next examination, that is November 2020 cycle 2. And this attempt will not be counted. The student will not be required to apply afresh or pay any fee for November 2020 examination cycle 2 at the relevant time. So normally student is required to apply for the exam, but as far as November 2020 cycle 2 is concerned, student is not required to apply afresh or pay any fee for November 2020 examination cycle, because the fee earlier paid will be carried forward. Announcement with detailed schedule will be issued in second half of December 2020. Further, in case the student appears for some of the papers in a particular group, for example, the student has already appeared for few papers in group 1 and subsequently he or she opts out for any of the reasons as mentioned in A to C above, then he or she has to appear for all papers of group in the next examination cycle. That is, shifting of some of the papers of the same group is not allowed. So let us assume a student has already appeared for 2 papers of group 1 and got attacked with COVID-19. Now he has to appear those 2 papers once again in the next attempt. That means in the second cycle of examinations, he has to appear for the complete group again. So the 2 papers which he has already completed will not be counted again. Now, another situation arises. In case the student appears for all papers in a group and subsequently opts out for other group for any of the reasons as stated in A to C above, then the group in which he has appeared shall be taken as completely appeared and the student has to write other group in the next examination cycle. Let us assume a student has applied for both the groups and he has already written all the examinations of first group. And after completion of first group, the student got attacked with COVID-19. Then the student is considered to have attempted that group in this attempt and it is required for him to attempt only the remaining group in the next examination cycle. Of course, if he desires and if he wants to write both groups again, then he has to wait till May 2021 examinations. But as far as second cycle of November 2020 examinations are concerned, if the student has already completed appearing one group, then he needs to appear only the remaining group in the second cycle of November 2020 examinations. He will not be allowed to again appear for both the groups. Now, another situation I am going to explain. Let us assume a student has applied for both the groups. He has already appeared for all the papers of group 1 and he has also appeared 2 papers in group 2. After that, COVID-19 has attacked to him or his family members. What will be the consequence? As far as group 1 is concerned, he is considered to have appeared for all the papers of group 1 and now coming to group 2, he is considered that he has not appeared for any of the papers of group 2. In such a case, he needs to appear for all the papers of group 2 again in the second cycle of November 2020 examinations. Alternatively, students who are satisfying any of the conditions stated as mentioned in A to C above shall be allowed to opt out for November 2020 exam and appear in May 2021 examination at his or her option. So some students may feel that instead of writing in second cycle of November 2020 examinations, they may be willing to write their examinations in May 2021 cycle. Yes, it is allowed. That means once a student has opted out from November 2020 examinations, it is not mandatory for him to appear for second cycle of November 2020 examinations to be conducted in January or February. Student can appear in May 2021. However, he or she will have to fill fresh examination form or apply afresh for May 2021 examination at the relevant time. So in such a case, if the student has already applied for exam application, then he needs to apply for examination once again. If it is for second cycle of November 2020 examination, then he need not apply again separately. But if he wants to appear in May 2021 examination, then he needs to apply separately. If he has not applied earlier, then he needs to apply afresh. His or her examination fee will be adjusted and only additional differential fee, if any, will be charged. For example, right now he has paid the fees for only one group, and in May 2021 student wants to appear for both the groups. In such a case, students need to pay the difference of fee only. So procedure for availing opt-out facility. This is very important because earlier this clarity was not there. Submit a declaration online available at icaexam.icai.org from 7th November. So students need to fill a declaration which is available in the icaexam.ici.org website, and it will be made available to students from 7th November onwards. On submitting the declaration, candidature of the student for November 2020 examination cycle 1 will be cancelled, and he or she will be given the option 2. Two options will be given. Number 1, shift in next November 2020 examination cycle 2, that is tranche 2, to be scheduled in the second half of January or first half of February 2021. That is one option. Another option is appear in May 2021 examination cycle. So if a student has opted out from November 2020 examination, he will have two options. One is to appear in examination cycle 2 of November 2020 exams, which will be held in January 2021 or February 2021. Another option is to appear in May 2021 examination cycle. So here few foundation students are raising a question. Sir, let us assume I have opted out now and appeared for CA foundation examination in second cycle of November 2020 examination, and let us assume I have qualified in that exam. Will I be allowed or eligible to appear for CA inter examinations in November 2021 attempt? No, it's not possible, because to get eligibility to appear for November 2021 examinations of CA inter, a student must have completed at least 9 months of study period. That means the minimum duration required from the date of registration to the date of commencement of examinations is at least 9 months. If examinations are going to be held in the month of February, then results may get announced in the month of March. From March to November, we will not get 9 months of time. That's why a student who gets qualified in examination cycle 2 of CA foundation will not be eligible to appear for November 2021 examinations of CA inter. But a student who has appeared for examinations in the first cycle of November 2020 exams and gets qualified will be eligible to appear for CA inter examinations to be held in November 2021 itself. So kindly note that once opt-out option is taken, it will be treated as final. No request for its change will be entertained under any circumstances. That means once the student chooses opt-out, it is not possible for him to change. So that's why I request all the students to consider opt-out as a only last resort. Only when the student gets attacked with COVID-19 or any of his family members gets attacked with COVID-19 or the area in which the student resides falls in a containment zone. Only in those cases I request the students to go for opt-out scheme. Remaining all students, it's better to appear in November 2020 first cycle of examinations itself. For remaining students who choose not to opt out, that means who want to appear for exams in the first cycle of November 2020 itself and appear for the exams commencing from 21st November, the institute has made all the required and necessary arrangements for smooth conduct of November 2020 examination across the globe, including strict adherence to the precautions or measures related to COVID-19, which include thermal scanning, hand sanitization, wearing of masks, maintaining social distancing at all times, following government guidelines, etc. for the examinees or center functionaries during the conduct of CA examinations. So what the CA Institute is intending to say is, For the students who want to appear for the first cycle of November 2020 examinations, Institute has made all the arrangements. The candidates are further advised to note the above and stay in touch with the website of the institute. So this is what the announcement of CA Institute says. I hope that all the students are able to understand the announcement clearly. Still there are certain areas which are not clear. So I think in the further notifications, CA Institute will give some more clarity with respect to this facility. All the best.